where are we at with Kevin Durant?
As far as our relationship?
Yeah. He's a future guest of ours, we think.
Are you making inroads in that?
Well, we've had a storied
I'll
past.
put it this way. We've been texting with him.
Yeah,
or as you would put DMing. We've been DMing
actually,
with him.
I have texted with him.
Is there a big difference?
Oh, yeah.
I mean.
See, I didn't know the difference. Now I say DM.
Frankly, I think it's unnatural that a man would DM with another man.
In my telephone, I have more than 60 direct messages from Kevin Durant on Twitter and Instagram since February of 2018. These were conversations initiated by KD himself. We talked about a lot of the things I talked about on Undisputed, and some of these conversations lasted more than 5 hours. If you want to argue over the difference between a text and a DM in the year 2019, go right ahead. But to me, it's all the same thing.
We're going to get into more of my brew crew, why I'm the leader of the brew crew, but this was a vintage brew crew when you're like, we've been texting.
Right.
But you've been DMing. That's just you having a little bit of extra, like, hey, you don't know where the target is. You guys figure it out. So I like that by you. Right. Are you guys cool, or?
We haven't talked since then. But here's the thing with KD. He goes back at like so many media members, including ex-players.
Yeah.
Like when they say something about him, he will go back at them. And I'm not going to name names.
He listens to everything.
Cuttino Mobley said he did, but I know there's other players that he's gone back at immediately. And so I assume when I see him, it'll be all love. I mean, I got no problem with him. And even in our DMing, as I said on
Texting.
Undisputed, well, it was DMing.
Yeah, whatever. You could say whatever you want.
We were going back at each other.
Right.
You know, he was critical of me. He's called me names. Mm-hmm. Then I'll go back. I won't call him names, but I'll go back and explain what I was saying. And we have a long debate. And what's happened with us in the past is that we've been able to come to an understanding. Because we do share, as I said on Undisputed, he's a Christian as well. So that common faith has enabled us to always be able to let cooler heads prevail and come to an agreement. So hopefully that'll be the case when I see him next time.
Do you think so? The reason I started texting with him, DMing, whatever, was I did an Instagram story of basketball playing pickup hoops, and he just replied, "Y'all are trash," which I thought was funny. But like, do you think he responds to too much? Because what we've done as a podcast is we used to think it was a little much, but post burner. And like, I don't know what it is, but he's just kind of owns that he will mix it up.
Right.
He will go into the comments and mix it up.
No, you know what? And I've kind of said a similar thing. The burner account, obviously, that's way too much. And hopefully he doesn't have any more.
Oh, he definitely has more. Yeah. Listen, if you have one burner account, you have many. That's how it works.
You can't quit the burner life cold turkey.
Right.
You got to wean yourself off a little bit.
That's a big time thing.
But we talked about it on our radio show, The Eye, a couple weeks ago. I was like, look, is Kevin Durant sensitive? Or is he just gangster? Is he just like, look, you put my name in your mouth, I'm coming at you.
I like that.
And I like that. Now, the burner account obviously isn't gangster. But outside of that, maybe if he's moved on from that, then I like the fact that, I mean, it's not for everybody. Like you said, I don't go back at everybody that goes at me. But if that's who he is, I'm fine with it. One thing I was worried about with Durant was just that it can take away your own happiness and quality of
Big
life.
Time.
Well,
if you let all that get in your head.
It can also add to it, though, because what I've seen from him recently, people send me screenshots all the time of him replying to just random people in his DMs. Like, he's firing back on anybody. It could be, some Instagram user with 20 followers, and he's like calling him a little punk-ass bitch, stuff like that. I think for him, I don't think he's too sensitive. I don't think he's a gangster. I think he's somewhere in between, which is like a pretty normal person.
He's a child of social media. He grew up doing this.
Yeah, who realized at some point that replying to people who were talking shit about him makes him feel better.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people out there, if they were put in his shoes, would probably do the same thing. Like, if somebody slides in your DMs and it's like, hey, fuck you, I hate you, you're going to respond to them, be like, hey, you're a punk ass bitch and I've got $100 million more than you do.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, I think that's human.
And I also think I've kind of settled on this. As long as it doesn't impact him negatively on the court.
Yeah, which I don't think it has.
Right. It clearly hasn't. We've seen guys come to New York and with the back pages and the pressure not be able to perform to the best of their ability. You can't say that about Kevin Durant. And I know he hasn't been in New York yet, but just wherever, he's getting the pressure, he's getting the criticism. And even though he reads it all, sees it all, hears it all, it has not impacted him negatively on the court. He can still go out and ball. So if he does that and he's happy, I'm cool with it.